So what is SAP Maintenance Assistant? This is a brand new mobile application for maintenance technicians using SAP S/4HANA Cloud 2105. Some of you may be familiar with SAP Asset Manager, which is also a mobile application for maintenance technicians, but that connects to an on-premise backend. So like Asset Manager, Maintenance Assistant is a native application with full offline capabilities. The difference here is the experience for Maintenance Assistant is optimized to follow the best practice maintenance process defined in S/4HANA Cloud. And both apps support tablet and phone form factors for iOS and Android. The application itself is designed specifically to surface the key objects and data that a technician needs to complete their work. So as a technician in the field, my main goal would be to execute operations. So we view, with the application, the technician can view, edit, and complete operations, look at related technical objects, notes, and documents, manage maintenance requests, view a full list of all maintenance requests assigned to their work center, and managing those required further action. They can also create maintenance requests on a mobile device, including minor work, view associated technical objects. We have a nice hierarchy view of technical objects that are all related to the orders that are assigned to that technician and the work center. Additionally, mobile application, the technician can take measurement readings. They can view and record measurement points of a technical object individually or in a single form. They can also manage time confirmations. They can enter a time confirmation once they complete the operation. They can also go back later and look at a full list of their labor time and view edit details of those confirmations, and also capture malfunction data when they're creating or editing a request and enter damage codes for that as well. So those are a few of the highlights. There's other features in the application as well, but as usual, the best way to demonstrate it is to do a demo. So bear with me for a second while I switch over to my tablet. Okay, so what you're seeing here initially is the home page or the launch screen for SAP Maintenance Assistant. So this is where a technician would go right away. You can see at the top we have some KPIs that indicate the operations, maintenance requests, technical objects, and work orders. This is the total number of those objects that are associated with that particular technician and the full work center, right? As we scroll down a little bit more, we surface the really important things the technician's going to be focused on: operations and maintenance requests. And as we scroll down a little more, we see that section for labor time that I mentioned earlier. So as a technician, I'll take on the role of a technician in my demo today. So as a technician, let's say the first thing I want to do when I come in for the day is I want to look at a maintenance request that I might need to follow up on. So I could go to the My Maintenance Request section, immediately go to a full list of my maintenance requests. So what we see here is a list view. These are very common throughout the application. All list views include the ability to filter. So in this instance, I could go through, change the sorting criteria. I could also select additional parameters if I want to filter by that. So let's say for here, I might down and say, let's show me only high priority items today, right? Go back and then I can submit that filter. So I see two right away. One requires action, the other has been assigned. So what I want to do is pick this leaking pipe item first. And this takes me to a detail page where, again, I have important header information and additional details about that maintenance request, as well as a quick link over to technical objects and documents and notes that I can look at. So since we're at the notes, I'm going to go into the notes section. First of all, and I can see that the planner has asked me here to attach a picture, right? To show the leak specifically. So I'll go back to my maintenance request. And from here, what I need to do is edit it to add this picture. So we have an edit button at the very top right corner, very prominent for the technician. Here, as I mentioned earlier, you can see if I needed to make additional edits to it, I could go in and add additional parameters to the maintenance request. I could use the assess priority here. This is a matrix that I could go in and pick specific items if I wanted to. For the sake of time, I'll just skip that. But what I really want to do right now is attach a file. So I can now access the file system or the camera for my device. Let's say I took that picture earlier. I have it stored in my file section, so I can quickly just tap on that and attach it. In here, I can either type it in, or I could even use the voice to text feature and say leaking pipe. And that's pre-populated using the device capabilities there. That's all that's required for this. So I'll go ahead and click done. And now I can go back to have the maintenance request. And if I go down to the bottom here, I can see in my documents, I just want to verify that that image was uploaded properly. So I can go to my documents section and verify that that has been uploaded. So I feel confident that I've done what I need to do to provide the further action on that particular maintenance request. So I can resubmit that. Now I see the status has been updated and I can continue on with my work. So I'll go back to the overview screen. So another thing I'd like to do is I want to complete an operation. So again, I can go to my operations, look at a full list of those. I do have, again, access to filtering. The parameters are a little bit different based on the operation objects. So the first thing I'd like to do here is check the pressure of this item. So I'm ready to check this pressure. So I'm going to hit execute that. I say it's ready for execution. So what I want to do now is, again, I have all this information here. I could go to the work order, see additional details related to that work order. I can go back. I can go to the technical object, where here I see measuring points displayed in the chart. If there were more, they would be seen there as well. I can go back to the operation, and in a single form, I can take readings. If there were multiple readings attached to the objects associated with this particular operation, these would show up here. For now, in this one, in this example, I just have a single reading. So I can hit the pressure, input that, and take that reading. I can go back to the technical object and see that my reading has now been displayed there. And it does look like there is something wrong with the pressure, right? But that's all I need to do today to complete that. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with my work. So now I can end this operation. And I'm going to say, okay. And so this just gives me another chance to, if I did discover more information about it or wanted to pick a damage group or a damage code, I could do that. I'll just skip this for now. But I am allowed at this point to add some confirmation time. So you can see the system is keeping track of since I started the operation. There's a 15-minute minimum, so that's why it's seeing a duration of 15 minutes. Let's say takes me 4 hours, so I could change that. If I needed to change any other information, I could, but otherwise just put in the final time, and I can see that the creation has been successful. So now I can go back to my operations. You see there is a check mark next to that to indicate that I have finished that particular operation already. So just another thing I'd like to show you is if I needed to create a maintenance request, right? So let's say as I was testing that pressure, I found that gearbox, that say screw is loose, but that's something that I could do right now. I have the materials and tools to do that. So I need to find that equipment. So by doing that, I'm going to go into my technical objects list. I see there's 183 objects that are listed here. So that's pretty big. I could do a text search, but I'm going to take advantage of the camera and do a barcode scan. So let's say I'm at the compressor. So I can scan the barcode on the compressor and pick the compressor itself. The gearbox perhaps doesn't have a barcode on it. So back at my compressor, I can go down to the bottom and tap on hierarchy. And this view will then allow me to navigate. I could go back, I could go in, but navigate into that object and see, here's the gearbox, here's the equipment. And now I see the detail view of that particular equipment. And from here, I can create that maintenance request by clicking on the item in the upper right corner. Since I'm doing it from the object itself, it's already pre-populated technical object. I'm just going to say missing screw. Again, I'm going to mark this as minor work because this is something I can complete right now. If it's not minor work, it has to go into planning. Otherwise, I can mark it and say, this is something small. I can do it right now. This is proactive work. Again, I could implement all this stuff. There's a template if I needed to describe more about the problem. Otherwise, I can just submit that. But now if I go back to the main screen, you can see my number of maintenance requests and the KPIs has increased by 1. And you can also see now there is a new maintenance request, a missing screw in my maintenance requests. So if I go into this, it's already started. I don't have to explicitly start it because the assumption is that I will be completing it now. So again, I can just go ahead and complete that. And that is completed. And I go back and you can see that they have sync icons next to them, right? This is something that will be shown next to every item that I have made a change on locally on the device, but has not yet been synced. So that's an important distinction to remember, because since this is an offline application, working offline gives you some performance in terms of speed. There's not a lot of calls back and forth to the server, but the technician would have to explicitly sync that. So periodically throughout the day, when they have a network connection, they could hit the top upper right button and sync all that information back to the back end. And then just real quickly, the last thing I'll hit on is the labor time. Again, we have a list view. I can see historical, even future dates. Click on today, where I see the time that I had logged. If I wanted to log an additional time, I can do that from here as well. And if I perhaps completed this other operation, I could do that and put in my hours there as well. That gets created. And now you can see that time has increased in all of those particular views. There's a sync icon again against it now. So maybe it's lunchtime, I'm ready to go. I might explicitly sync, so all that gets sent back to the back end, and I'm ready for lunch. So that's the extent of my demo.